Hello, everybody. I'm Roadblock. This is a Raid Shadow Legends video. Um, we're on the main OG free to play account here, and I'm a little hesitant to record this video. I don't know if it's because the thumbnail wasn't great, or you guys are more interested in the Ninja account now. But not a lot of you watched the last, not my normal viewership I would expect. Watched the last free to play episode that I released. So, um, I am going to release this because I hope that it'll gain more traction. But maybe we're getting towards the time where this is less interesting and we take a step back. I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments how you're feeling. But I still love the free to play account. It's probably my favorite account to play right now because of all the boosts and bonuses, and maybe you guys think that only because I had great shard luck or something is why it's working as well as it is. But let's get into today's video and let's talk about why I'm making it, right? um, we again have made a big leap in progress on the OG free to play account. But before we talk about that too much, everything is on track for the fusion. Um, we have two events that expire on Thursday. That's Champion Training and Artifact Enhancement, which means I should have 14 of the rares right now. And if we come in here and type in branch, because that's its name, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And I still have the champion training event left, right? I haven't done barely any of that. And then artifact enhancement event left. Now, I will be doing these events today, mainly the champion training event today. So all my extra gems, all my extra energy, I am completely tapped out on resources right now, as far as energy goes. All of that will be used to complete the champion training portion and the artifact enhancement. That's silver. I've got plenty of silver to do that. So those are the next steps right now for the account. But I did want to show you guys, and if I don't finish it today, I have till tomorrow as well. So both of those events end in a day. So we have till tomorrow as well. But I did want to show you the massive leap we took in progression. We are now Sand Devil Stage 25 on this account. Now, I will admit to you guys, yes, I have Newt. And yes, I have Godseeker. A lot of you don't have Godseeker. That's something that I take for granted quite a bit. I feel like a lot of accounts tend to get Godseeker pretty early, but I know there are deep, deep accounts that still have never found their first Godseeker. I see it in the comments all the time. But Godseeker really makes this quite easy. Here you can see the typical Godseeker and X team, right? It could be Godseeker Ninja, Godseeker Newt, Godseeker Walking Tomb Drang. Honestly, with the buffs, the nerfs this guy took, you could probably do any DPS in this role. It'll probably take you longer, but, you should be fine. So, to make it work, and it is, as much as I've done everything I can to make this 100%, and it's not. You guys have seen this team 100 times, especially on this account. I will show it to you again, just so you understand the concept. Godseeker dies, revives herself, revives Newt, which refreshes his cooldown, allows him to immediately do his A3, which does a big chunk of damage. Now, this particular affinity is very, very good for Newt, but the run is not 100%. You saw the life of Godseeker got a little low there. And that is one of the problems. Newt is fine. Newt takes very little damage from Sand Devil. It's Godseeker that really takes the most. Newt also heals himself up to full every time. And you'll see he gets weak hit more often. If Sand Devil gets a critical hit on Godseeker, it can prove to be a challenge, and in some cases that critical hit can cause a fail. And unfortunately, because it's a 2-minute battle, there are a lot of opportunities that Sand Devil has to get a critical hit on my Godseeker. Particularly that hit right there, if that's a critical, that is very, very dangerous for us. Newt never gets low enough to die, but also if he were to die, I think the way that my speeds are now, it would be okay. Godseeker would still do what she needs to do as far as the revival process. Because I think she goes last before Sand Devil takes a turn. And then, so once this run is finished, I'll kind of show you guys the changes that I've made to make Godseeker more effective in it. Now, if the little scorpion stingers, if those get a critical hit, that's usually fine, provided I'm not too low. It's really that hit after revival that matters. So this hit right here. There we go. So we're fine. The speeds actually worked out great there. We were able to go before she attacked, or he attacked. And I do want to look at who attacks last before the next ability. Yeah, okay. So if Newt was killed there, Godseeker wouldn't have had the cooldown back, so it would have been fine. I think. No, because of that attack right there, yeah. So, yeah. Either way, I have done a lot to increase the tankiness of Godseeker in this particular instance. And there we go. All right, so a little bit longer of a run. That one was 3 minutes. You saw I've done it in 2 minutes in the past. Best was 2 minutes, but stuff can happen, right? Oh, I know why it's slower now. Because I made Godseeker way tankier. That's why it's slower. So let's talk about that. I changed masteries. I previously had War Master and this exact same defense tree. To make her tankier, I swapped over to the support tree. So giving myself more base HP, increasing the value of heals. Again, healing, right? Increasing healing. Oh, that one's situational, so that one probably doesn't really apply. And then going max HP. Now, I did see one build that said, increase to the turn meter, but I would rather have the max HP. I am wondering if maybe I would have been better off trying to grab Iron Skin, potentially, but I really like these two abilities for Godseeker. So I basically made Godseeker more survivable and increased the healing that Godseeker can do. And that has worked. It's made it more consistent than it was. It's still not 100%, which is the problem. It does occasionally fail, but we are getting there. Also, since the last fail, I've done some other things that I've been able to do because we're successfully farming it now, where I'm able to ascend more gear and get more HP on these stats. So it may be that it's no longer in that state of fail. I may have managed to ascend my way out of it and get the supportive stats wherever I could find them. This did not negatively affect my Wixwell team. I made the changes before I ran Wixwell, and I have run Wixwell since then, and I have not seen any changes to my Wixwell team. If anything, she's probably even tankier than she was as far as her defense goes. So she's probably taking less damage than before. And her speeds stayed the same, even though I did get that mastery. Lure of Steel. She's a little bit quicker now, but overall, really, really solid. So I'm very happy with the changes that I made and the progress that I've made in that area. So the account is not even a year old yet, and we're already farming Sand Devil at the highest difficulty. Could I have done this without the nerfs? Probably not. The nerfs have really what are allowing my younger account to be able to do this. I did also have to make a couple of other things, right? I had to do area bonuses here, or sorry, affinity bonuses for Void, increasing the defense and HP of my Godseeker by 10%. And then I did area bonuses where I could afford, because I don't have that many resources since we haven't done Live Arena in a while, but giving myself another 2% of HP and defense in Sand Devil. And all those little changes have made it so my Godseeker can stay alive. One suggestion I would make, if you're going to build a similar team to this, regarding your Godseeker, you could build her a little bit slower if you don't have her in a Wixwell team. Mine is in a Wixwell team, so I like to keep that speed a little bit higher. If you build her a little bit slower so that she does not get an extra turn, or so that she only gets, 3 turns? Oh, it's 4 turns. Yeah. So you want her to get that 4th turn before she dies, is really what you're looking to get, right? And we're kind of at that. I didn't count the exact turns. You guys can go back, rewind the video, and tell me how many turns she's getting. But one of the ways that team will fail is if she's way too fast and she gets those 4 turns and Newt dies on that second Scorpion Stinger attack, she'll automatically revive him because it's off cooldown. But then she'll get killed by the big AoE hit and then will not be able to revive herself. So then it's a fail, right? So as long as you keep the speeds in an area where you can only get 4 hits in before blah, 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 right? Like I said, it can be pretty successful, and it gives you more wiggle room to work with defenses, right? You could use HP boots maybe, or defense boots, and get higher survivability stats on your Godseeker, allowing you to do that. So those are some options for that team. But I'm not going to lie, like, in reality, the fact that I've even pulled Godseeker and Neri is pretty relevant. I mean, if you look at how many of the rare or the epics from the faction alone that I still don't have, let alone the epics across all the other factions that I don't have. You know, the fact that one of those epics I pulled is Godseeker is very favorable to me. And then on top of that, of course, we can never forget the fact that I pulled a Newt and pulled him very early. So, you know, that all these things do have to be considered. That's, you know, the title of this video will probably be like how my free-to-play pull can do Sand Devil 25, but I take it with a big grain of salt. I got lucky with shard pulls. You may not get that lucky. I mean, it's entirely possible that you never pull the champions that have been shown here. So I just want to make sure that I'm straightforward with you guys about that. I have been very lucky on this account, and that luck has continued, right? That's how we got Georgid. That's how we got Turvold. But I still stand by this fact and the thought process that I do kind of make my own luck in a way, a little bit, by pulling when I should pull and using resources in ways that are most beneficial to me, focusing on clan boss early so that I have more shards in order to pull more champions. Like, that's kind of what I'm talking about, right? When I say I made my own luck. So you can see, like, we just pulled a bunch of ancients. I already have 11 more ancients. And it's been 3 days since Sunday when I last pulled my ancients, right? The Voyage progress, that was from, 2 weeks ago? A little over 2 weeks ago now. We've already got our Void shards. We got 16 back, right? And saving my shards. The number of times I do an account takeover and it's 0, 0, 0, 0 drives me insane. And I know that you guys want to pull your shards. I know you want to have fun. I get that. I'm actually more okay with you doing that with your sacred shards. But when you're wasting those ancients and those voids outside of those 2 times chances, right? I mean, anytime I pulled voids, I had double chance of getting void epics. So that simply increased my chance to get Godseeker and Eerie. And if you look, while we have all of these epics, right, these are the only 4 that I could get for this faction from Void. So I'm curious if we go through and look at the Void. Yep, there's still some epics here that I don't have, right? The Void epics that could have been pulled instead. But, you will see that I have a big percentage of the available Void epics to my account. And a big part of that could be because I'm pulling when I have a 16% chance instead of an 8% chance, right? And that's something that I don't think people consider. Oh, sorry, a 32%. No, yeah, I was right. A 16% chance, right? So when I'm pulling those, I have a 16% chance of getting an epic. Much more increasing my chances of getting that Godseeker Anira, getting that Inquisitor Shamil, getting Seer, right? Ursula, Ugos, Geomancers, Taragis, right? So just keep that stuff in mind. I know that maybe it seems less fun or you feel like you're not progressing or you're, whatever, but saving shards does really help. You got to accept the fact that you're a free-to-play player, and on my main account, I still do that. I could go and buy as many shards as I want. I can't because I'm married. But the reality is though, I could buy shards if I needed to, and I save up my shards, right? That's how I'm able to do the things that I can do. So, and if you notice that the free to play is actually even getting more shard luck. I've got 5 sacreds to my 2 on the main account. And the almost as many primals, 16 voids versus the main account having. Well, okay, sorry. Technically, my main account has 0 voids in my brain because my floor for void shards is 130 on my main account. But yeah, and I had more ancients on the free to play as well. So Clan Boss is being nicer to my free to play right now than it is to my main account, which I find to be kind of funny. But everything will balance out over time. So, okay, back to the free to play. What is next? That's the wrong free to play. What is next for the free to play? Well, as far as champions go, we do have Torvald in the mix as a possible next champion. Now, legendary books have been a bit of an issue. We did get another legendary book. My luck on the Georgian has been absolutely terrible. Neither of the cooldowns have gotten reduced, but I did get all the damage boosts. So I'm okay with that. I'm hoping this one will be a cooldown reduction. Nope. A1. Of course. That's fine. We'll get 2 more books eventually and finish booking him out. But I don't know who to go with next. I'm kind of at this weird spot. I really need a reviver / healer, I feel like. So the team that I've been running on Hydra, and that's my fault because I should have restarted the run, but one of the, whether it was Gwendolyn or Razelvarg, got killed very early in one of my recent runs, which resulted in me doing less than 70 million damage. And why do I want 70 million damage? Because that would double into 140 million, which would give me what I need in Hydra Clash. That's not Hydra. To get that 140 million to get the third chest here, right? So that's the goal that I want to hit points wise. So to do that, I need to get either 70 million on hard or just do 140 million on normal, which I can do. but I'd like to do it on hard because then I also get better stone skin and protection gear. So I want to hit that 70 million mark, but I don't have a reviver right now, which is kind of punishing. And I stopped bringing Godseeker for Gwendolyn, but maybe I just give up on that and I go back to bringing Godseeker and Razelvarg and then use Gwendolyn in the second team. That actually might be what I'll do moving forward. The second team is very lacking on a provoker. I actually used level 50 Skull Lord, who again is not booked. Therefore, this is on a 3-turn cooldown. But it was more consistent than my ultimate Death Knight A1, who is very low accuracy. So Skull Lord did okay. Just the cooldown was a problem, but I don't know. My plan was Turvold was going to be my next 60. I'm kind of leaning towards Bambus as my next 60 now. Bambus is a little more tanky. We've got some buff extension mechanics in there. We've got Enfeeble for other areas of the game. We've got debuff transferring, which is kind of like a little cleanse there. And everything is an AoE hit, so I could theoretically put him in a cursed set. You'll see I'm already one of the 4 pieces there. So if I could get him in a cursed set, speed and accuracy right here, and speed and accuracy right here. So those 2 pieces plus a helmet with speed and accuracy could get me what I need out of Bambus in order to maybe act as a replacement for Mithrala. And giving me that decreased speed. And that would free up Mithrala for the second team. Or Bambus himself goes into the second team and can pair with that team. Or maybe I do Bambus in the main team and Mithrala in the second team. And, we get our Hex here from the Curse set. Mithrala gives the Hex on the other one. He's not a reviver, so he doesn't really solve that particular problem. But I do like the cleanse that he brings. The buff extension that he brings, because he would be paired with Godseeker on the second team. So it might be better than what I'm currently getting out of Gwendolyn on that second team, because she's just far too squishy. And I actually don't use this particular ability at all because I already get increased accuracy on that team from Razelvarg. So Gwendolyn is really just there to be my decreased speed and my AoE leech. But I also get AoE leech from Razelvarg. So I don't know. I'm leaning in that direction a little bit, but I want your guys' thoughts. What do you think would be a viable option for me? Rector Drath is up there on the list. I could get her built. The other thing I want to consider while we're talking about these things is it time to shift to faction wars? I think it might be time. Now, I have a lot of weak points in my factions, right? But I also have a lot of strong points in my factions. I do believe I could build a quite viable team for Bannerlords right now. High Elves between Arbiter, Supreme Elhain, and Shirmani and Elenarl. That's a really powerful roster. Throw in Tyrell as well for decreased defense there. Or even Neldor for some decreased speed and some freezing. Sacred Order, I think, is already done. I think I did that. I could be wrong. I'd have to double check that. I guess we could just look real quick. But I don't know if that's where I want to put my focus. Yeah, Sacred Order's done, 63, right? Barbarians is done, 63. But there are still some factions. So what are my lowest factions? Demon Spawn, Orcs. Well, Orcs, I can get Shayak, who I haven't pulled yet. He's sitting in there. So that would be a good gain. And then I have Seer. Plus Duke and Jorg. I could level them up. Oh, even Trumbor now. Right, with ally protection. Yeah, I think I would probably do... Well, even Kreela would be pretty decent with the group that I'm mentioning, right? Because Seer... Sorry, that's not the A1 I was thinking of. But this A1 would pair pretty well. You get a chance to place Weaken and Leech on the target. Jorg has HP burn on his A1. Duke has decreased accuracy. So there's a possibility. I could even build Terror Beast. I think he does count towards the dog buffs, although I'm not really excited about it, but it's something I could do. Maybe even go with Zargala. In that comp, you know, but I do think I've got some good epics, and then I think paired with Shayak. I don't know that Kreela necessarily makes the cut right now, but paired with Shayak, I think we'd have some success for sure. So that's an option, right? What was the other factions that I said I had trouble with? Let's see. That was Orcs. The other one was Demon Spawn. Interesting. Well, I'm about to get a demon again, right, from a faction. We're about to complete that. That's not where I meant to go. Demon Spawn. Oh, yeah. Tyrant. Drexstar. Does Tyrant have burn activation at all? No, but he does have ally protection. And damage reduction per waves under a burn. So Drexstar and Tyrant would work, I think, pretty well together. And then as far as epics, we've got a decent enough support Endure, right? We'd get some continuous heals and some revive to help us on those harder fights. We have Allure for turn meter control. That's going to give us a big boost there. And I could perhaps go a check because I know that he pairs well with Burns. It's situate well. Isn't there a thing? Heals all allies. Yeah, so heals when yeah, when people with burns, and then does turn meter fill unfreezing. So that might work given the roster that I have. Though that there might be a combination there of those 3 epics and these 2 legendaries. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Should I be targeting Faction Wars now, trying to get Lydia? Should I be targeting should I just level up whoever is the best out of these options? Like, I'll give you all my legendaries that are 5 stars right now. You know, we've got Ignatius, Herndig could be good. Never built Adolin. Maybe we get Adolin built up. I do have a 5-star soul for Syl. I know a lot of you guys are saying like build Syl, but we kind of, by the time we got Syl, we were past the stage that I think Syl would have been a huge help. Obviously, I think Turvold's going to be massive for my account in more than just Arena. Elinarl for poison activating, right, is something we could do. Kyoku is okay. I don't know that I really need big ally protect right now. I would build Loriaka maybe to 50 if I was doing Faction Wars progression. So I don't know what just happened, but my daughter is calling for me. So I am going to end this video, which I was already nearing the end anyways. So as always, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing. It is the best way to support me right now. Just trying to grow the channel. I am trying to beat my friend and his subscriber count, so I won't go into too many details because I got to run. But if you're able to, if you like my content, click that subscribe button. It helps me out directly, getting more reputation, helping me do more things like the podcast that I did very recently. So please keep that stuff in mind. And I thank you, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, guys.